Did he tell you that?
Well,
He decorated my office for me today.
they were sweatshirts.
See what there's on the TV.
Size tall Brad. He's the most angry light. That's the microphone now.
Call this meeting to order. Montour Area School Board, please rise. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Uh, Mr. Elber is absent tonight. Mr. Badger is absent. Mr. Eisenhower,
Here.
Mr. Gardner,
Here.
Mr. Hausnick,
Here.
Ms. McCoy,
Here.
Ms. Meyer,
Here.
and Mr. Young.
Here. Okay, at this time, we're gonna take a short break and go over to the gymnasium for a presentation from the Montoursville Area High School cheerleaders. All meeting back to order. Under recognitions and presentations, Larson, Keller and Associates.
That's not really fair making me follow that, but this will be almost as it's.
Yes.
We'll keep it brief. So my name is Ray Apollo. I'm from local accounting firm Larson Kelton Associates. And we conducted the audit of the June 30th, 2025 financial statements for the North Area School District. The main reason that we're here is to make ourselves as the auditors available to you, the board, to ask any questions about the audited financial statements or the audit process that you might have. And to just briefly talk about the two main documents that are the product of our audit. One is a communication from us, the auditors, to you, the board, that highlights a few things. I'll just talk about I'll say the most important things would be that the preparation of financial statements involves the use of estimates, and we highlight in this letter that the big estimates that are contained within your financial statements are mostly related to pension and post-retirement liabilities. There are fairly large numbers in your financial statements that management develops and we audit, but they are estimated numbers of future liabilities that the district has. And the only other really item I want to highlight in this letter is that we did not have any difficulties dealing with management conducting our audit. I've been assigned on this audit for a lot of years, and everybody has always been absolutely more than helpful, regardless of the circumstances, during the audit. It's always been a great experience, and we just want to, thank you for, being so helpful to us in the process, because we realize you really don't want us there, so. So the main product is the audited financial statement. So the audit consists of basically two different phases. There's a financial statement audit, and there's what's called the single audit, or audit of the federal expenditures that the district has. So we render an opinion on the financial statements. We rendered what's called an unmodified opinion, which means based on the audit test work that we did, we believe that your numbers are fairly stated, in that someone could pick up this report and rely on it to make a financial decision about the district. If they wanted to buy your bonds or something like that, we believe that the numbers are fairly stated and they would be able to, rely on them. So we also issued an unmodified opinion. An unmodified opinion is a good thing on the federal programs that we audited. So in total, the district for year ended 6/30/25 expended $1,607,000 in federal funds. And there's a formula that we have to go through that tells us which program that we need to look at. And the program that we looked at this year is basically the food service child nutrition cluster. So you get monies related to the food service program. And we look at how the money was spent, and also compliance with the federal rules and regulations related to the food service program. And we did not have any findings related to that. So that's a good thing. So that's sort of the audit in a nutshell. And I'm not really here to discuss the numbers or anything like that unless you have questions about them. But just to give you an overview that it was a clean or unmodified opinion, and we did not have any issues or findings for the current year audit. So if anybody has any questions or comments, I'd be happy to entertain them and try to answer them if we can. No? Okay. So
Speak on.
then I'm done.
Thank you.
I do wanna thank you, you got me some happy points tonight by letting me watch that. I was in trouble for having to be here instead of up there. So I appreciate that.
Definitely.
Thank you, sir.
May I be excused then?
Yeah.
I know you had to give us a little cheer first.
Television. So, Rob, fire rumble. You guys are all supposed to stomp your. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, 2.1 approval of regular meeting minutes dated January 13th, 2026, and work session minutes dated January 27th, 2026. Motion, please.
Motion approved.
Second.
Any discussion? Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That brings us to our public comments on agenda items relative to the actual agenda that's happening tonight. Each person will be allotted 3 minutes of uninterrupted time. Please state your name and your address upon coming to the microphone.
Jack Pelly and 113 Large Street, of course. I want to say about Bill Burdette and Ted Strine. There's only 3 sports available back then. And Ted Strine didn't have any lights turned on. You know, to practice his football for his 2 games with Southside and whoever was 9th game. And I just sort of say them guys did a heck of a job. And then Bill Burdette, he did for the Montgomery. He beat them. He beat 2 other teams that he had. This was in 2062. And I don't know, they just did a heck of a job. And to have their stuff thrown away. Yeah, Dan, did you throw it away or did you put it up the attic or did you put it in the closet or what?
Doesn't exist.
Huh?
It didn't exist in my time here.
Well, I know some of it did.
I kept what we had.
Yeah, but some of it did. And that's ridiculous. They deserve a lot more than that. And Bill Burdette was a wrestler in college. He wrestled in college. Them guys are fabulous. I don't know. And I don't know. Those trophy cases aren't big enough. You know, they should have been, things should have been taken away when things were new. We got 3 foreign exchange students. Gil Hogentover, Cheryl Couch, and Catherine Villatati. Where did their pictures go? Where did Roy's kids went to Penn State, played for the Blue Hat? Where was his picture of that? That's what I mean, these pictures and all that disappear. And they shouldn't disappear. You know, they just did acquire stuff recently. They did it over time. That's not what I have.
Thank you.
It's now Lower Manor. Since it's budget season, I wanna talk finances. You all remember last year, the business manager that was here at the time constantly pushed for a tax increase. And when the final budget was, and I'd be hesitant if I didn't add that there was one board member that pushed for a tax increase also, because that board member pushes for a tax increase every year. If you remember, there was gonna be a deficit of around 55,391. Cooler heads prevailed, and there was no tax increase. And the final budget was supposed to have a deficit. 9.3 on tonight's agenda calls for transferring 705,478 out of the fund balance because of excess money or finance or revenue that come in that was more than expenses paid out. So the 705,478 is getting transferred, plus the 55,391, which brought brings the fund balance back to where it was. I want to remind everybody that there was a couple of board members last year that brought up about having a zero-based budgeting and questioned the business manager at the time to do zero-based budgeting. That business manager at the time decided she didn't have to listen to board members, that board members weren't her boss. So she did what she always did every year and added a percentage on everything. And that's how she come up with the budget. I'm glad this year, Jessica, that you are doing zero-based budgeting. I think it's going to be better for the school district, and I also think it's going to be better for the taxpayers. In my opinion, any business, and it's my opinion, you can take it for what it's worth, but any business or government entity needs to do zero-based budgeting. The private sector does it all the time because they need to do it in order to keep in business. And that's the way school districts and the state and the federal government needs to do it too. Thank you.
Seeing no one else in the audience, we'll go online. Raise your hand if you would like to speak. All right, seeing no one online, we'll move on to business manager's report 5.1, approval of general fund and cafeteria treasurer's report.
You received copies of the treasurer's report for the period ending January 31st of 2026 for the general fund, cafeteria fund, and capital projects. Also included with these reports are the middle school and high school activity funds. We are submitting these to the board for your consideration for approval.
We have a motion.
Motion to approve. Second.
Any discussion or questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 5.2, presentation of bills.
You received copies of the listing of invoices for the general fund and cafeteria fund for the period ending February 10th of 2026. We're submitting these to the board for your consideration for approval and payment.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion or questions?
I just had one question, only because it's on the credit, and I apologize, I didn't get a chance to get over to a credit card purchase. It's the one, it's right at the beginning, Supreme Catering. Is from July 30th and the amount of $4,257, what that was for. My apologies, not getting to you for this, but.
That was
Crazy time of year for you, Taylor. I only ask because it is this like summer and it's credit card and I'm just like, it's a lot of money. So it's curious what it is.
We can find out about that. And the answer to
Sure, I
that one,
think
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's just, it's a big credit card purchase.
Yeah.
It's not a PO. Just
Mhm.
curious.
Yeah, I'll definitely get you,
Okay.
because that one I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
I don't wanna.
No, I appreciate
Yeah.
it. Thank
actually,
you.
that's
That's
fine.
all I got, Dave.
Any other questions? Roll call vote on this, please.
Mr. Albert,
Yes.
Mr. Gradger is absent. Mr. Eisenhower,
Yes.
Mr. Gardner. Mr. Hausnick,
Yes.
Ms. McCoy,
Yes.
Mrs. Meyer,
Yes.
and Mr. Young.
Yes. Moving on to 5.3, business.
Okay. I'm gonna read off my little notes. So, with the transition between the two business managers, the audit process actually did go pretty smoothly. So that, as you can see, we actually have favorable and no findings, which was impressive. Also, I wanted to say that the general fund did report a fund balance of approximately 4.9 million of the 22-25 or the 24-25 $35.4 million operating budget, resulting in that increase of that 705,478. And yes, we do have that on here for you guys to approve to be able to transfer that over into the capital to help replenish some of those funds that were used for the project to this point. Also, I did watch Governor Shapiro's 26-27 proposed budget address. That was on February 3rd. He was saying about 50 million for basic education funding. He also was doing 50 million for special education funding. He also had 565 million in the adequacy. And he also said that he is going to continue cyber reform. There's some things that are out there that he's discussing, but he didn't really say too much about that. So I did go on, I found the proposed numbers for 26-27. And for the basic ed funding, it looks like we're gonna have about 8.6 million. I'm thinking that's gonna be an increase of about 53,000 from 25-26. And then I found the special education that is looking at 5.6 million estimate. And we're looking at an increase of about 32,000 from 25-26. Those are just some of the numbers that I pulled off. So I could give you a highlight on that. More to come.
Any questions of her on that? From anyone? All right, moving on, superintendent's report. We'll start over here, Mr. Farrar.
Just a number of things obviously going on as the years come back from the holidays and get into the swing of things for the spring. But one of the things, our PTOs are starting to work together as we look towards consolidation in a couple of years. And one of the things they're planning on doing was actually doing a combined spring festival. Each school for the last number of years have done their own. But we thought what way to start bringing our school community together was to work together that we'd offer a big festival. So we'll be bringing that for your approval to potentially doing the McCall grounds. just thought it'd be a nice central location and around the outside of the building and, but we had for one planning session, it's going really well. We're going to do another and, be a nice community event in May. But again, a fun time for the kids and the families. What they're gonna do with any proceeds, I mean, they never do that for a profit, but they always come available with some profits. But they're gonna put that money aside for when the schools come together. And that's the whole sole purpose, you know, is put a fun event together, start bringing our school communities and do that. So Mr. Blaze and I have been helping with that process. We had a couple assemblies coming up. One, both our schools did really well, as you know, in their walkathons. So we have like a prize assembly coming at the end of the year. We have a BMX show that we're gonna do over at McCall in the parking lot there. And with that, we're gonna invite McCall to come out and bring their kids out for a show of their own and again, celebrate the year. Couple things just to wrap up. The kindergarten registration is in full swing. Some parents jumped on immediately as it opened and, you know, we got some numbers coming in to the next few months. We'll see what our next class looks like. Of course, we're ramping up for PSSA and Read Across America Week and things like that coming down the road. One last thing I'll comment on is we had, as you know, in February tends to be the 100th day of school. And you know, maybe you remember for those of you who had children go through, they dress up what they think a 100-year-old person looks like. I had a grade level try something different this year. And they went on, they said, well, there's 80 days of school left. So we're gonna do an 80s day. It was fun reliving that time frame growing up, right? However, I had a teacher, this just tells you the generation where I'm getting to and where I thought it just shook my head. We had to help that teacher understand what it meant to dress like the 80s. It was a fun,
Wow.
but I felt. Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you. Mr. Martin.
Little update from our geography B. Thank you to Mr. Jones. Every year he facilitates that. Our third place winner this year is Camden Donkey from 8th grade. Second place was Grayson Strobel from 8th grade. And our winner this year was Austin Jackson in 7th. So congratulations to not only those three, but the rest of the students that participated. Really excited about the opportunities that our high school students are having here at McCall. We have 5 students right now from Mrs. Dangle's high school psychology class participating at McCall with various teachers. Next week on the 18th, we have 16 coming from the high school over with various teachers. So excited to see, hopefully they have a great experience. I know a few of the students are saying how short the ceilings are at McCall compared to high school. So, but that should be interesting to see. So thank you to Mr. T and both the principals for supporting that and Mrs. Tira. Was great to see Mr. Edler and Dr. Johnson with the 8th grade scheduling process this week. Came over to talk with the 8th graders. So now with Mrs. Logue is in that process of talking about the high school courses and so forth. So not only with the 8th grade, we're in, Mrs. Hoyt and I are in full process of scheduling with that. And one kudos to not only our building, but the parents and the students within the district. We had finished up the NAEP assessment, National Assessment of Educational Progress. And it's a congressional mandate. We were chosen this year. We had 2 representatives, one from New Jersey and one from down the Allentown area. And they just couldn't get over how polite our students were and our teachers were. So it's a testament to the district that we're in, and we're very proud of our students and faculty. So I'll leave the rest for Mrs. Hoyt. Thank you.
It's great to hear. Thank you. Mrs. White.
So we have the winter formal coming up next Sunday here at the high school. That's being taken over this year by the class of 2029. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but we have a job fair that's going to be coming up. That's going to be March 24th. So if you know of any businesses that might be interested in coming in and talking to students about potential careers that they could look at, certainly send them our way so that we can get them signed up for it. One of the other big things, with the cheerleaders tonight, I had the opportunity to go with them to Texas and trying to figure out what to do with regards to Winter Storm Fern, because when we arrived, it was gonna be a quarter of inch ice and a few inches of snow, which we're like, okay, we've been dealing with that here. And then in a matter of 2 hours, we went from a quarter of an inch of ice with 5 inches of snow to 1 to 2 inches of ice with 2 to 3 inches of snow. And that really changed things. And I have to give the cheerleaders kudos for how well they handled a major change in plans. These poor girls were out in the parking lot here at 1:45 in the morning to get on a bus to go to Baltimore, to get on a plane, take 3.5, almost 4 hours to go across country, wait in the airport while we got rental vehicles, got their equipment and everything, get them loaded in to the van, drive an hour to the hotel, get off there at the hotel for maybe 2 hours. They get something to eat and they find out we're going back home. And they get up the next day, go through all of it in reverse. There were a few tears shed because they had worked very hard for that opportunity, but they handled it so well. And being in the airport where there are all these impatient travelers, and these girls are keeping a smile on their face, they're very well behaved, they represented Montoursville so well. It truly was an honor to be able to travel with them to see that. I've taken a lot of kids on field trips over the years, and they were actually probably one of the best to travel with under some really extreme circumstances. So I have to give them a lot of kudos for that. I'll leave everything else for Dr. J.
Thank you very much for that information. Mr. Blaze.
Good news, the Valley was once again recognized, at the Pennsylvania, Positive Behavior Support Conference, for implementing and sustaining tier 1, positive behavior support. So, and that has to do with a survey that goes out to all of our staff and faculty members, and then there's on-site visitation where they go through and audit a couple our staff members, so we're just cruising along with that once again, so we're proud of that. Myself and a couple of other staff members traveled over to the IU on the 28th for a program called Check and Connect. It's a mentoring program for some of our kiddos that are kind of struggling with school, don't like school. Hits that 1 to 5% of our kiddos that we really need to take a look at. And again, it's a mentoring program, and it works on building relationships and positive school climate and helping them solve some of their problems that they have. So we're anxious to get that up and rolling. And like Mr. Farrar said, we're busy planning assemblies. We have Zoo America coming from Hershey up to the Valley and to Leiter. So claws and paws and more like that. So we're excited for that coming up. And other than that, we're rolling. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Welcome.
As far as the maintenance crew goes, we've been chasing snow around at the building. We've been working on a lot of heating issues. Yeah, kind of shocking. The custodian's been doing a great job getting the buildings cleaned up after the salt that I put down has come into the building. And we're doing a great job, keeping it clean for all the kids that are playing and stuff in here. And I did have electrical contractor in Danny to look at the lighting in the gym and look at some layouts and lumens and different things, so that's coming soon. And lighter is officially probably gonna be starting tomorrow morning. Fences are going up, parking lots are getting closed, and you're going to see it's going. Keep you posted on how that goes.
Good news is I can't pull any more hair.
Thank you. Mrs. Hoyt.
All right, 6th grade has a field trip this upcoming Tuesday at the Community Arts Center, so they're looking forward to that. Our 6th grade chorus was invited to sing at the Capitol in March, so more information coming about that, but they're looking forward to it. Trooper Lesher is coming this Friday to speak to the 6th and 7th graders about Camp Cadet and giving a presentation. And from my understanding, Montoursville typically represents Camp Cadet pretty well. So that's really exciting that that's coming. Also this Saturday at McCall, we're hosting the Math Counts competition. So Mrs. Converse taking the lead on that, and looking forward to hearing the results from that as well.
Thank you. Sebastian?
Yeah, last month, Mrs. Wise had mentioned that we were working on rolling out Smart Pass, our digital hall pass solution. So we've got that underway now, and I believe we have all the kinks worked out of it. That seems to be going well. Recently, I've been working a lot on the technology budget for next school year, working with building staff and principals on our software renewals, making sure that the resources that were utilized last year are continuing to be utilized this year, updating license counts based on our changing enrollments, all of that exciting stuff. Part of that also includes our Google licensing. Google had some big changes this year with their licensing, how the licensing is handled, as well as a pretty sizable price increase. So to kind of get ahead of that, we've automated our user archival and licensing, which basically just makes sure that our licenses are accurate and keeping costs to a minimum. We are, through the technology budget process, we have a lot of planning going on for future projects. So next year, we're looking at replacing all of our teacher laptops. We're heading into our 6th year of using those, so they're going to be upgraded. And as part of that, we're also going to be transitioning our staff from on-premise file servers to cloud file servers. OneDrive, you guys are probably familiar with it, but we're going to be making that switch next year. That's something that we had spent time last summer planning. We implemented that with our principals at the start of this school year as kind of like a little pilot. That went well, so next year we're going to be spending a lot of time transitioning everyone over to that. We are also currently evaluating our kindergarten and 1st grade devices, possibly transitioning them from iPads to Chromebooks. That's something that we're still evaluating. That could provide a little bit more consistency for our students as they move through the grades and possibly be a little bit more cost effective for us as well. We don't want to go too quick on that though, so we are working with the teachers in those grades to make sure that they can support their needs. We currently have an E-rate project out for bid. That will, if we receive an acceptable bid on that, that would allow us to upgrade all of our high school networking equipment next year. And the E-rate program would cover 80% of those costs. That equipment typically comes in over the summer or early next year, and then we would be able to install and configure that ourselves in-house. Last thing I have here is, obviously you guys are aware, it's on the agenda tonight. Mr. T and I have been working with Curve Point to plan for additional weapon detection in the high school. So if you guys approve that tonight, my team will start getting cabling ran and prepare for that equipment to be installed next month, I believe. Have some other projects coming up that I'll be able to touch base on a little bit more down the road. Some exciting things about our website, communication tools, and possibly some more building security stuff, but I'll have to touch on those later.
Wow, that's the most I've ever heard you speak.
I literally was sitting looking at him, like, that was a big one.
This is why I don't
He's
talk
like,
too much. It's not that exciting.
I wanna ask you Paul for a lot of money, so I gotta tell you everything I need.
Thank you for that, Sebastian, appreciate it.
No problem.
Mr. Hannon?
Yeah, I wanted to share that our special education teachers at Leiter were able to meet with our education students from the high school here. So on one of their trips over to Leiter Elementary School, our learning support teachers, our emotional support teacher, and our speech therapist were able to do presentations in small groups for those students on what they do with our students and their responsibilities as teachers. Each staff member shared a presentation that was about 30 to 45 minutes with them and really talked a lot about what they were doing with kids. It really sparked a lot of discussions, and I think it really brought out a lot of interest for them. And I was fortunate enough to sit in on Mrs. Snyder's speech presentation, and she did a very nice job. But I wanted to overall thank all of our special education staff for their help with working with our students from the high school. Then the next thing we have going on is we are preparing for the extended school year program. We've actually started, our teachers have been looking over the students' IEP progress monitoring data to really see if there is recruitment and regression issues with those students. And then those students that do have those issues, then they are qualifying for ESY services. The ESY services are going to be held this summer at the Schick Elementary School in the Loyalsock Township School District, as well as the South Academy on Reach Road in Williamsport. Both programs are going to be operated by the Blast Intermediate Unit, and they will start on Monday, June 22nd and run through Thursday, July 16th. Each student will be there for 3 hours per day, and teachers are currently consulting with families and starting to register students online. And then the last thing that I have to share is on Wednesday, February 4th and Friday, February 6th. We had our early intervention meetings for our students that are in our preschool programs that have special needs and that will be transitioning to school age for the 26-27 school year. We met with the team from their preschools as well as our school staff team and really talked about each individual student to help plan for what school will look like for them here. We had about 19 students that are in the process of that and had parents come over to the meetings as well. It was really nice because a lot of our parents already are registered online for school for this fall. And a lot of them are very, very excited about having their kids come to kindergarten. There was a few tears in some of the meetings from some of the mothers. But all in all, I think they went very well. And it's gonna be exciting working with these new kids coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dr. Jones.
Well, there were less tears at the 8th grade meeting with the parents we had last night, but to follow up with Curtis, being able to go over to McCall with Mr. Eadler and talk to the incoming freshmen it's always an interesting adventure. They're very well behaved, respectful, very interested in some of the things that are happening. And then we followed that up with a parent meeting last evening to go over that again and look at their next 4 years ahead of them in preparation for scheduling. So we are now at the point where the stored energy, the potential energy, we're now in kinetic for the rest of the year. So as we're hitting February in the oncoming months, between musicals and scheduling and all of the additional trappings of the spring and rounding up the end of the year, we'll be running full steam ahead. Moving forward, obviously, a huge thank you to everybody who came out to watch the cheerleaders have their opportunity to kind of present their show. Definitely a difficult, challenging season for them. Very resilient group of girls and coaches who picked up the pieces and made that. I'm proud of us as a district for being able to support them, stand by them, and not let them down in spite of a lot of obstacles and challenges even up until the very end. So I'm appreciative of that and the support there, and all of you for going out tonight and cheering them on as they so often do for us. I won't delve into athletics. I'll let Mr. Hausneck talk about that. But again, as Mrs. Wise alluded to, we obviously have the spring musical. We're knee deep in Smart Pass, which is working well. We have the career fair coming up, the winter formal that's coming up on the 15th. Lots of good stuff going on. Huge thanks to our counselors as well. The course sheets for scheduling are out, and they've given up every one of their lunches this entire week and sat out there to answer questions for kids to try and get ahead of the game. And I'm proud of them for that. And they're doing an awesome job helping us get ready for the next phase of scheduling. So that's where we're at.
Thank you, sir. Mr. T.
First, I'm happy to announce we have an applicant for the open seat, Amanda Kling, who is with us tonight, as long as you don't scare her off. And that includes everybody in this room. As long as you don't scare her off, we will vote on seating her at the next meeting or work session this month. So Amanda Kling. So I'll get you some background in an email for that agenda. Second, permits, finally got those over the finish line today, which is good news since they're starting tomorrow. So we'll go pick those up in the morning, so we have them on site when they start. So all permitting is complete, finished. That was one of the bigger hurdles of this project. Somebody needs to do something about the levels of bureaucracy between all the government agencies. It's unbelievable. I can see why some projects just never happen. And then finally, I want to echo Dr. Johnson's statements on the cheer showcase. Although nobody in this room had a choice, I thank you for attending. To say they've been through a lot is an understatement. They're absolute pillars of this community. The most phone calls I've had in quite some time were over ribbons on the bridge. So that tells you a lot about what they mean to the school district and community. So it was great to see the community out to support them because they're full of support for all of our programs. So they are that particular program. I know I have my corny saying, and as always, go Warriors. They're the inspiration for that. Our cheerleaders have been and continue to be an outstanding group of young people for our school district. So thanks for supporting them and thanks to the community for supporting them as well. And that's all I have for tonight. There's a lot more going on, but Sebastian wins the award tonight.
Thank you. All right, moving on to general agenda items. I'd like to group 7.1 through 7.4 together. If everybody wants to take a look at those, let me know if that's all right. If you have any questions on any of those prior to grouping them.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Questions, discussions?
Well, you did 7.1 to 7.4 or 7.5.
7.4,
That's what I thought. Okay.
because I know we want to talk about 7.5.
No. Listen, it is so close to like my
30
my
minutes.
perfectness. Like, we're almost there, Dan.
Almost. So this is 7.1 through 7.4.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Hold on, I'm sorry. Down there, we're on the public content. The last two line items, where does that money fall in? Does that fall in what category?
Danny, where you at?
We're 7.1 through 7.4. We're not there.
Isn't that, is?
No, we're not there.
Oh,
What item are
yeah,
you,
you're under nines.
You're way.
That's,
what item are you looking at?
it's under seven.
No, it's
7.1.
field trip.
7.1. And you're doing 7.1 through 7.4, right?
Yep.
We have field trip, use of facilities, American 250 PA, Curve Point.
Right here,
Brand.
all the way down there, you're right, Mr. Albert. Yeah, I'm looking at.
This is all still part of 7.1.
He's looking at 7.4, right?
Yeah, down, now my. Probably.
7.4 is the approval for the agreement for Curve Point.
Not scroll down.
You talking about the 60,000 for the curve point?
No,
We're talking about the
right,
700,000?
we're on 7.1, right?
Only he knows. We're on 7.
7.1 to
That's
7.4.
right, so.
So you're
for
looking
the-
at these last two.
Yeah, the Press State Student Journalism Competition.
Oh, you're
You're
in
looking
the
at the
field
field
trip
trips.
thing, okay, so
Yeah.
you're in field trips.
All right.
All right, we're.
Now that you
we're-
specified that,
We're back.
Yep, you're all.
They're in the,
He's in the.
they're in the
field trip.
budget.
All right, well, I mean, they're just.
And they call them expense to district. Those are budgeted items. And then the expense to activity.
Right, they just weren't in,
Oh, they weren't on, okay.
they're just in
Floating
a
law.
category, I don't,
Oh,
wasn't know where it was falling. So that's in the budget by the district.
yes.
Any other questions or discussions? All those in,
I'll just add the America 250 resolution. It's there because I asked to put the logo on the website to celebrate the 250th anniversary. I have to pass a resolution to be able to use that logo. So
that's a good resolution.
I think it's important that we we jump on that, so. Considering we teach a lot of American history in the district, so.
Anyone else? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 7.5, approval of the first reading of the 2026-2027 school calendar.
Go ahead,
This was
Sharon.
easy.
No, you did
Motion
first
to
and second.
approve. No, it's very close to where I need it. Motion to approve.
Second.
It's, we're just
Yeah.
in discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't
Yours-
voted on
You're
it.
getting ahead, it's coming.
Sharon.
Yes.
Good.
Okay, so.
Yes, we
I'm
did.
happy with after Labor Day, we all know this. I already, and this is bad because I was part of the negotiations of this contract, so I'd forgotten about the MLK compared to President's Day, because we don't have President's Day off. So the only thing that I had looked at was that, but I forgot we had that as a paid holiday already in contract. So I was going to suggest having President's Day instead of MLK Day, because it's so soon after. So the only other suggestion I did have, and then there were two things thrown around in this, was the snow day in April, moving that to either the day behind Easter break to make it almost like a spring break, right? Because we don't really have a spring break and a length, and it's over Easter, where if families would want to travel, that gives them the opportunity to. And then Dan also mentioned possibly putting that in President's Day. But otherwise, this is like, I mean, my biggest gripe is the whole beginning of the school year. I'm trying to get December, I am excited because we're gonna have to do this 2 years in a row, and 2 years is gonna make a habit. So we clearly can do it. So,
The only other thing I would like to ask,
yes.
it's one of those in-service days at the end of the year, and the reason those are there is so we can clear lighter. And that would include faculty, so that they can get in there and start that summer's worth of work to get done then for the next school year, because we move completely in that following school year. What I'd like to ask, could we take the 16th of June and make November 30th a school day? Knowing there's a proposal to move the hunting season even a week before that.
That died.
Did it die?
Yeah.
Okay,
Animals do agree.
but is that?
Good luck with that one. I'm not even commenting on that.
Well, then we will leave that alone. Since that died, I am not gonna,
should have the Monday after the Super Bowl.
I'm not gonna take on
I'm not arguing with you on that one.
the 30th, so. So we'll bring this back with the snow day moved to President's Day.
Thoughts. Or leave it any.
That would be April 19th, moved to February 15th. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
15th.
16th this year, so.
Keeping the kids focused, that's a tough.
Yeah, but then you also have 3 weeks testing in there and.
Yeah, it does help there too. I mean, we're gonna lose it. It doesn't matter what, I mean, we always have one snow day. The weather, I mean, we can never get lucky to be Florida or something. Well, this year, what am I saying? But it's either way, it's a long stretch. It's just, for the kids, it's just that maintaining focus and recharging those batteries for them, really, honestly, because sometimes they just need that. With the winter doldrums where it's, it's 6 of one, half dozen the other, mine.
Yeah, I was looking to do the MLK to President's Day, but then forgot about contracting, because it's so quick after, you know what I mean? That would have been a good break in there.
I guess I would say after all the years, I'd say sometimes in the spring when the weather starts breaking, keeping kids focused is harder than it is in the winter time.
So you need to add
I know
more
we changed the
recesses.
policy to.
That may or may not be on my list.
It's
So-
municipal.
It's actually.
It's actually part of
Out
the
of town.
municipal.
That was the newer one.
Both of the-
Studying technical is to actually. So, just saying.
So are we bringing that back with that change?
What was it again? I'm sorry.
April 19th to February 15th as a snow makeup day.
I'm not opposed to keeping it on the 19th. I was more in the MLK to President's Day, but the contracting, so if you don't want to move it, you don't, there's no need to move it. I just thought the 19th up to the end of Easter for a spring break, it's like a longer break. If we need an April.
So leave it as is?
So otherwise, Dan, you did do a really good.
No choice. The other thing you can do.
Yeah, like when there's no choice.
You can
Maybe
open
it's
up,
possible.
you can open up the contract, do an MOU to move that day and change the policy to move that day. It's paperwork. It's,
Look at Jess, it's like, no, please don't do that.
if that's more beneficial to kids, then it's worth doing. As is? As is. Okay. So you need to vote then on the perfect calendar.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
That's
Alright.
the first reading, so that'll come back here on the next meeting.
Moving on. 8, personnel. 8.1, approval of following additions to substitute teacher list and coaching staff for the 25-26 school year. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second. Questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 9, budget and finance. 9.1, acknowledgement of the Montoursville Area School District's financial statements for the year ending June 30th, 2025, as well as a related audit report from Larson, Kellett and Associates. Entertain a motion.
Motion approved. Second.
Questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 9.2, approval of the agreement between Montoursville Area School District and GASB 75 Valuation Service. Take a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second. Discussion, comments?
Am I the only one who doesn't know what that is?
Gatsby?
Yeah.
That's the General Accounting Standards Board is what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, that there's a lot of different.
I looked through the whole
Numbers.
contract. I was like, what am I approving? So I just thought I'd ask that question.
Yeah, Gatsby's 55, it does the retirement evaluation.
Oh,
So it
okay,
does a
that
whole
makes, all right, that's.
a measurement
Gotcha.
period and,
I
yeah.
looked through, I knew it had to be something. I was just like, okay, I'm asking.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? 9.3. Approval of a transfer from general fund to the capital fund account in the amount of $705,478. The excess of revenues over expenditures in the 2024-2025 fiscal year. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second. Discussion. Mr. T, could you add on to this from a little bit that you already spoke about?
This was a combination of revenues that came in a little bit higher. Probably primarily earned income. And us watching our dollars and cents in the district and how we spend the money. So those two combination of things allowed us to have an excess in what was a deficit projection on the budget. So
Can you refresh my memory? Did we have an excess last year? Not as.
Not as much, it was 300 and some. Wasn't quite as much. I don't know the exact number.
That's fine. I'm just trying to remember that we had
Yeah,
something.
it wasn't that. That'll replace some expenditures we've had out of capital for the current project. And as you look towards fields, that gives you a possibility for fields.
Thank you. Any other questions? Discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Committee reports. We don't have anybody representing the PSBA. Policy Committee, Ms. McCoy.
I have nothing brief for tonight.
IU, Mrs. Meyer.
Yeah, just wanted to, had to zoom in, I was in beautiful Texas, but I was in meeting last week, but. So I will have a book for our next meeting, I know this is Read Across America right now, but we will, the IU always gives school board members a book. It'll be Smile, It's a Beautiful Day, written by a previous IU student, Austin Orley. I'm probably, is that?
Yeah, it was one of my kids. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's perfect. So that book will be gifted to the school district, and I'll let you, Mr. Termino, figure out what library you would like to put it in. The other thing that happened, just last week was, Blast IU hosted the Keystone competition at their Williamsport office. That there were a bunch of different schools, so Muncie, Loyalsock, Montgomery, Northern Tioga, Wellsboro, and Wyalusing were all there in competition. And so it's for grades 5 through 12. And it centers on collaboration, innovation, and problem solving. So next year, I'd like to see Mentorsville on there, because I know in the last 2 years. So just saying, put my feelers out there for 5th through 12. So feelers. I'll make sure everyone knows, and that's what I have. Thanks.
Thank you. LCTC, Mr. Eisenhower.
So as a reminder, the cost of the building project ended up coming higher than expected. And because of that, we agreed to increase the spending cost to a cost not to exceed $850,000. With the administration down there assuring us that we would not need to raise it again. I didn't lose total faith in them, so as of tonight, I am pleased to inform you that through the Keystone Communities Initiative grant, with the helps of Representative Flick and Representative Ham, they just gave LICO CTC $1 million. So that'll help make up the difference. So a big thanks to Representative Flick and Ham, and also to the staff down at LICO CTC.
Thank you, sir. Memorial Gardens, Mr. Hausnick.
Nothing at this time.
Budget, Mrs. Meyer.
Not yet.
Montoursville Foundation, Mr. T.
Nothing to report. They meet in March.
Raise the Regions coming up. I know we are involved in that, correct?
Yeah.
So if you have the opportunity, or someone that you know has the opportunity to donate through Raise the Region for the Montoursville Foundation, it would go directly to what we do to support the kids here at school in their different activities. Buildings and Grounds, Mr. Albert.
I have nothing this evening.
Extracurricular, Mr. Hausnick.
Okay, to piggyback on what Mr. T said. He'll tell you, I called him a few times. I had more calls and more people come up to me about when the blue and gold streamers were going on the bridge than I did the last 2 tax seasons. And the phone calls I got, they weren't from 50-year-old people, 60-year-old people. They were from 80 and 90-year-old people. The passion in Mentorsville runs deep. And so they're quite pleased right now. Okay, winter sports starting to come to an end. Wrestling, junior high ended up 5-5 in their dual matches. At the District 4 Junior High Championships, our junior high finished 12 out of 35 teams. As Hunter Harvey took a first, Jasper Swisher a fifth, Lucas Amato and Nasharelli took 8th. In varsity, Mentorza was ranked 12th in the state. In the District 14 duels, we took 3rd behind Montgomery and Mifflinburg. They take the top 3 places for the state tournament. In the first round, we had to wrestle number 4 Berks Catholic and beat them 35-34. Then we lost to Sucon Valley 36-30. Finished with a dual meet record of 20-7. The individual sectionals will begin this week. And then there'll be districts, regionals, and state tournament. In girls basketball, the girls have 2 games left, one on Thursday night against Muncie and one on Saturday against Lewisburg. The JVs are 12-4. The varsity 7-13, which is a vast improvement over last year. Not only the record, but their competitiveness. On Saturday, it was an afternoon game. We beat Williamsport 40-30. It's the first time we've beaten Williamsport since 2017. They have an outside chance to make the district playoffs. I think they have to win one of these 2 games. Boys basketball, the 7th graders, they're 13-1. They were runner-up in the Shamokin tournament a couple weeks ago. They lost a Shamokin team that had 2 6'2" 7th graders that looked about 17 years old. The 8th grade team is 12-2. They won the Southern Columbia tournament. Their only 2 losses so far have been to Williamsport, and one was in overtime on Monday night. The JV basketball team's 14-7. Finished the year at 14-7. The varsity team finished at 16-6. They're the number 2 seed in District 4. Most likely will be playing Central Columbia here at home next week sometime in the district playoffs. And we have a good chance to make the state playoffs because I think they take the top 3 teams. So that's it in a nutshell. The winter sports have followed the fall sports. The Mentorzo kids just keep making everybody prouder and prouder. Thank you.
Thank you.
Spring's right around the corner. Early March.
You have to get that field done. Nothing from safety and security, wellness, Ms. McCoy.
Nothing at this time.
All right, that brings us to the final public comments. Each person will have 3 minutes uninterrupted time. Please state your name when you come up to the podium.
Back down and I'm good for the archery. Herb Sledge is still alive. He was alive last year. He was the Tortoise basketball coach before that was. And he went out to Indiana U, Pennsylvania. He was had basketball coach out there. And he's the athletic director at Indiana U of PA. And there would have been more people than me speaking on behalf of the old time basketball and football coaches. Only I didn't have a chance to get a hold of them. But they would have been here. And Toursalt's women's basketball, they beat Like Coming back in the day. And that's when they had a team. I got that out of yearbook. They defeated Like Coming. They defeated a number of teams. And that was with the basketball was another way. They had 2 in the forecourt, 3 in the backcourt, and it was a different game. And I wasn't here for this speaker. He was at Crabtree or what it was. But I wanted for the codes. I wanted the announcement board out in front of the school. There's plenty, there's room, like it should be there. And I don't know what was there yesterday or day or Sunday or something. I was right by the school for now, and I don't know what's going on. And that's why I should be a message board. There used to be a message board. I used to take care of the message board. And I don't know. I don't know if that guy was the head of the Crabtree or who he was, but he was I don't know. Was he ahead of the Crabtree?
The guy tonight,
Yeah.
he was the head of the audit. The
Audit.
audit.
Oh, but that was.
Yeah, no.
Not the guy to talk to.
Okay.
It wasn't with codes or.
Bruce Sledge's still alive. I was alive. And for the Dave Black last year, he told me in Chuck's Grimm's funeral. He's Herb Sledge, still alive out in Indiana. He must be 97 years old. Now, I don't know if he's alive or isn't, but he said that he's alive.
Thank you, Jackie.
Ron Snell over there. I understand that you can't make comments on current litigation. When somebody sues the district. But what I would like to know is, when somebody sues the district, how much liability insurance to cover lawsuits does the district have? The other thing I wanted to bring up is just for an FYI. If any of you board members get a chance, go look at the Lancaster News paper from today. Lancaster School District screwed up the numbers in their budget and they lost $10 million. And who do you think's gonna have to pick up that $10 million? It's not gonna be the people that screwed up. It's gonna be the taxpayers. And that's why school board directors and the administration, business manager needs to scrutinize everything. So that doesn't happen in our district. Thank you.
Yeah, they miscalculated salaries, didn't actually have them calculated in the budget. I think they're at a $10 million shortfall and they are raising taxes to the Act 1 index for the next, there are multiple years they're doing that.
30 something.
Were they at a 0 increase for years or?
No, they had increases in addition to missing those salaries, so. That's why the audits are important,
So we look really, really good.
So where's the audits and all this?
Yeah, good question.
That might be where they found
I
it.
had it in for years.
That's where they caught it. You're right, I think that is where they caught
Yeah,
it.
but they didn't catch it.
You can't screw up anywhere.
They said it was a software.
Hey, no pressure, no pressure or anything.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
It's software again.
Anybody else from the general?
Calendar.
Yeah, it's.
It's on the table, but he won't go ready for it.
So I'm looking at.
I do want to recognize Carrie Snyder and thank her from Nutrition for having the snacks and beverages for us.
It's raining down.
For this year.
Tomorrow.
Along with,
I'd be like, why is everyone showing up?
you know, along with.
All right, before we go any further, let me go online, see if there's any questions, which there aren't.
Yeah, I just want to say, I mean, Mrs. Snyder's crew does a great job for our kids and you see that in participation of all 4 schools. along with that, you know, Mr. Stalene back there and his crew, I gotta tell you, starting with the construction project and working with contractors. And just how the world has changed, even since we did the high school project, I'm telling you, having those guys, you know, just. It's a stress reliever of that extra support there, knowing we're going to do something that. You got lots of people coming on our property, people drive by, they're interested, we'll take a look, but I know I always got a hawk guy. And a set of eyes off the whole team, so, you know, again, thank you to he and the entire team, appreciate that. That make our school safer. It eases the fears of parents and community members and all.
Thank you for that. Anybody else with anything? Take a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Not the sound, but it's.
That's how.
He'll be back. He said he was coming back.
He's coming back. So he'll need to sign.
You know what, they look, might look good.